Okay, so over the weekend, NYC Comic Con happened. You know, at NYC Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con or any Comic Con, you got the weirdos who want to dress up and be weird and walk around in character costumes, okay? And this morning, waking up, as you see, I'm still wiping a crust out of my eyes. I see a picture of a girl who cosplayed as, I don't know the name of the character. I don't know the name. Well, I know the name of the show. It's Walking Dead. I know of the comic book. That's pretty much it. All I know about The Walking Dead. A girl cosplayed as her, but the girl happened to be white. The character is a dark-skinned black girl with dreadlocks, mangy outfit, because they're in a zombie apocalypse type situation. And a lot of people are having a problem with this. Me, at first glance, not really, until I started reading the comments. Never read the comments. Now, some people are having an issue with it, black and white. Some people aren't having an issue with it, black and white and Hispanic and whatever else. Do I have an issue with it? Like I said, I didn't really originally didn't have an issue with it until I started reading the comments and seeing people's what do you call it? What's up, son? Started seeing people's opinions on the fact. People, you have been using white chicks as an excuse as to why it is white people can put blackface on. Now, the girl did paint her face brown, but to be black, she painted her face brown. Now, I'm gonna get into that later. I'm gonna get into that a little later. But what I'm having an issue with mainly are the people who don't understand the history of blackface. Now, you don't equate White Chicks, the movie with Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans, as somehow equal to the history of blackface, okay? The history of blackface started before film, okay? Actually, you want to be real, the beginning of cosplay is blackface. If you want to be real, in this country, the history we have, cosplay began with blackface. Blackface is red lips, open your eyes like this. It began there. So for people to try to somehow equate it, oh, it's not racist because blah 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 blah. Now let me take you back to one of my old videos. In my old videos, I gave the definition of racism. Racism in the dictionary, basically, we all know what racism is. Okay, in the dictionary, it has two definitions. Basically, equating it to what a bigot is, and basically a person who overall hates somebody because of their skin color, eye color, hair color, and believing that they're better than that person because of their eye color, hair color, and etc. or skin color. But I said before that racism that's not just racism, because that completely ignores the fact, or ignores white supremacy, which created racism in order to keep, basically for a power structure. Because I don't know how to explain this in depth, like a scientist will be able to do it. I can do it. I can explain it to you like a fifth grader. Okay, white supremacy is a hierarchy. Okay, white is the best, black is the worst. Okay, it's a hierarchy. Okay, and there are things that build up to where you can go up to the ladder of racism. So racism is not just one definition. Oh, you hate somebody, or you say nigger. No, racism can mean a lot of things. And what I'm seeing with this picture, I wouldn't necessarily call it racist, but I'm still going to break it down for you, telling you why it is in fact racist. Okay. Now back to this white chick situation. White chicks. Damon and Marlon Wayans dressed up like two white girls and and doing a little Valley Girl voice. Not only were they doing the Valley Girl voice, and every once in a while they slip out of character and they'll become black, and they will be noticeably black. Okay. Now, there are several scenes in that movie that are supposed to cheat you, but I guess people are not listening. They're just, paying attention to the fact that they're dressed up in blonde hair and blue eyes, and it's offending them. Or a lot of white people wouldn't say they're necessarily offended. They're just like, okay, since you guys can do it, we can do it too. No, that's not how things work. Okay, you're already in first place. You're at the top of racism. You're at the top of the hierarchy that is known as white supremacy. Even if you don't want to be, it's a privilege that your ancestors and the people. Oh, yesterday was Christopher Columbus Day. Your people created. So there's certain things you can and can't do now that you want to be in a post-racial society. That's what you're trying to have, a post-racial society. Which it's not a post-racial society, obviously, because the meat of you are ignoring what's going on in Ferguson. And there are even some of you idiots out there wearing Darren Wilson armbands and I am Darren Wilson. No, you're not Darren Wilson, because you're not a cop, and you didn't kill a black kid for no reason. Unless you are Darren Wilson and you have killed a black kid for no reason, then maybe you should think about something. Anyway, let me go back to the situation. You can't equate that to basically you cannot equate those two things. Fucking people were bringing up Robert Downey Jr. when he was the dude disguised as the dude playing another dude. That fucking dumb shit, okay? People were, in fact, offended by it. But the fact of the movie was, it was a movie inside of a movie inside of a movie. Now, not only was it was basically it was a fucking satire. I was offended by it, but it was funny as shit. But what killed me the worst about this situation, I think they want me to go move my car. One moment. Okay, I'm back. So, I forgot where I left off. But racism 1 is a horrible, horrible hierarchy that people like to ignore. Okay? Now, with this girl, she's clearly using her privilege. Let me explain to you. Dude, I hope most of you people know who Al Jolson is. And I'm going to compare the girl to Al Jolson. Or compare the random cosplay person. Oh, I was just dressing up like Crazy Eyes because I love her in the show. Okay. Let me show you something. Al Jolson, black jazz dancer. Oh, white jazz. I'm sorry. Whew, bad. That was bad. White jazz dancer that dressed up in blackface. Paint the face black, red lips, white lips, dancing around to jazz music like black people do. I don't know how to do it. Jazz hands. White girl dresses up with the dreadlocks, puts on the dingy clothes, the crappy clothes, and she doesn't see the character. No, wait, let me take the clothes off, paint my face brown, put the clothes back on. I'm now the character. If you don't see what's going on here, then you'll understand. Okay, now, people said Al Jolson wasn't racist. People like to pretend like Al Jolson wasn't racist. What he was doing was racist. Clearly. It was racist as shit. He was... Some people like to believe that he was doing it for the appreciation of jazz music. And the truth was, Al Jolson loved jazz music. I don't know how he felt about black people, but jazz music and black people were synonymous. So, put on a face, and white people didn't want to see a black man dance to entertain them at that point in history, entertain them the way Al Jolson was entertaining them. They wanted to see. As a matter of fact, there were some black people who dressed up in blackface. That just killed my whole argument. But it's only because they had to do it though. He loved it. He loved jazz music. But he did it the way the American public wanted him to. So the white girl is, oh, I love this character. This character's awesome. She fucks zombies up with a ninja sword. She got dreadlocks. She's a dark-skinned black girl. So I'm going to put the face on. I'm going to put the dreads on. I'm going to put the clothes on. And now I am that character. Just like Al Jolson with the Pekingese and the ex-slaves who, yes, master, I'll get you work for you right away. That's why it's racist. She completely ignores the history of it. or she uses her privilege to ignore it. Because, you know, in this country, white people love to ignore facts. They love to ignore them just so it makes them feel better. They love to ignore facts. Now, I'm not going to say black people don't love to do it, because black people do it too. But specifically, racially, historically, in this country, white people love to ignore facts just to make themselves feel better. For example, Thanksgiving, we're celebrating the slaughter of Native Americans. We're celebrating that. We're celebrating Christopher Columbus Day, which was yesterday. We're celebrating that shit. Do you realize what we're celebrating? But we're ignoring the facts. Oh no, he discovered that everything that is America. He discovered this shit. So we celebrate Christopher Columbo. Christopher Columbo. And then we celebrate what the Pilgrims did with the Native Americans. Yeah, they had a feast, and then there was a feast after the feast. Okay? So she's ignoring the facts. So for her to put on that shit, it makes her racist. She's ignoring the facts because there's an ugly history behind it. If I would never do that. If my black ass walked into fucking a synagogue with a goddamn swastika on. Oh, matter of fact, no. If I walked into a movie theater with a goddamn swastika on, if I was white and walked into with a swastika on, speaking German, screaming it, what the fuck are you gonna think? Who is it gonna offend? I wait. Exactly. Okay? It'll offend some people. It will offend not just white people, black, Asian, everybody. Okay? Everybody. So, it offends me to see that girl put that shit on. Especially with her ignoring the facts. Okay? I don't care if you love that character. You could have come with the dreadlocks and the clothing and had the little fake sword, and everybody would have known what you're talking about. I would have known who you're talking about because I do not watch Walking Dead, but I've seen the comic book and I've seen the character. She is a badass character. I've seen some clips from the show. She's a badass motherfucker. Okay? She got zombie slaves. Who has zombie slaves? Okay? She's a bad character. But I'm not. Okay, white people might think she's a bad character. No, she's bad. Alright? You know what I mean? She's bad. Okay? She's tight. She's vicious. She's awesome. Okay? So, when I see, she didn't have to put that on, but she did, out of her, like it's some type of crusade. Oh, you guys can dress up like Superman, you guys can. No, it's you using your privilege and pretending to be ignorant just so you can do what you want to do. No, it is racist. I don't care what no cosplayers say. I don't care what no black nerd says to me. I don't care what no. It is racist, okay? Especially if you know the history of racism, especially if you know the history of anything in this country, it is fucking racist, okay? If you know it, you're racist. I don't care if you're going to the con to have a good time. I go to the con to have a good time and a Nazi, say I'm doing what movie was it? The 13th Right? I could have done that. Well, I'm black and it wouldn't really make sense. My whole argument is you don't ever see black cosplayers paint themselves white. Why? Because it's offensive. Okay? We don't need to do it. You know who the character is. And let's be real, a lot of cosplayers, white cosplayers, have problems with black cosplayers dressing up as white characters. It's all over the internet. Go to black cosplays. Go to any black cosplayer, they'll tell you they've gotten negative comments, like horrible comments directed at them because they were dressed up as a character that is not historically black. So now I can say it's the same thing, but it's not, because I don't remember where white people have been, enslaved by black people, and black people put on white face and blonde hair and blue contact lenses and we dance around. Because I don't remember when oppressed white people had to deal with that, because oppressed white people do not have to deal with that, because white people cannot be oppressed. Okay, it's the opposite of racism. It's impossible. Okay, so white women can be oppressed. Okay, white gay males can be oppressed. Okay, but they still have more privilege than their counterparts. A whole lot more privilege. But anyway, I don't see where that has happened, and it has not happened. So it's racist. I'm sorry. It's a cool cosplay. She should have just not have done anything with her face. Really, it's that bad. Okay, and for all the people who giving me bullshit, let me be real with you, okay? Eddie Murphy has done Asian, fat people, white people, other black people. Eddie Murphy has done literally everybody as a satire. As a satire. And it, regardless of how you put it, it's still offensive. It's offensive to somebody, it's still offensive. Okay? It's bigotry. Okay? Shit, he's just fat people. Honestly, fat people, to me, I think fat people choose to be fat. So, I mean, if somebody makes fun of you for being fat, you chose to be fat. I could get into that. People use steroids, but I don't believe that, you know. I love donuts just like the rest of them. I'm a little fat myself, but I still get up and ride my bike and walk and go do things instead of sitting down eating. Okay, this is not becoming a fat bashing thing. Robert Downey Jr. has played an Australian playing a black dude. Basically, what's her name? Iggy Azalea. Okay, it's racist. I don't care. Cosplay, no cosplay, it's fucking racist. Okay, especially if you can't answer this. If a white guy walks into a thing and he's cosplaying Hitler, is it offensive? Because it's offensive to fucking me. When that's not offensive to everybody, then I think it would have been